Hello and welcome back to Ready to Ride and to the third of the 3 warm-up sessions that I'm putting on for you. As I said before the other two, familiarise yourself with the introductory session. There is a little bit of overlap between that and excuse me, these warm-up sessions, but get used to doing that, get really good with doing your postural setup before you get started. It's good for doing your warm-up, it's good for any of the exercises, and it's really good for you to be doing before you start riding. So let's get started with this third warm-up. For the starting exercise, we're going to combine the 2 neck exercises that we've done in the first 2 warm-up sessions. So we're going to combine the chin tuck with the turn. So I'm going to demonstrate it first of all. So I'm tucking the chin in. It is, as with the second warm-up where we just did the chin tucks, a fairly ugly exercise to do. You are giving yourself a bit of a double chin as you do it, but again you're activating those deep neck flexors, but combining it with the dynamic element of doing the turning at the same time. What you should find is that if you're doing it properly and keeping the tuck, you can't turn as far as you would normally. So if you find that you're turning right over your shoulders, you're losing the tuck as you go into the turn. So keep the tuck as you do the turn. Okay. We're now going to move on to an exercise called the bow and arrow. I like doing this in the lunge position. It's a bit more of a challenge, like with the second warm-up with doing just the straightforward turns in the lunge position. Just challenges your balance, it challenges your coordination and your pelvic awareness. It's called the bow and arrow because quite simply it looks like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Not that I've ever done any archery, but there we go. Hands up in front, and then you take one hand back to your shoulder and then follow through with the shoulder and the head. Bring your hand to the front and then you do the same thing the other way. Hand back and follow through the shoulder and head. And as you're doing this, like within the previous warm-up, keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3, your headlights to the front, and your front knee lined up with your second and third toe. So you're working your upper body, but your lower body stays really still. Okay, swap and do the same thing the other way. As I said before, you will probably find that you are quite different when you are in your different leg forward combination. So hand back into the turn, keeping headlights forwards, knee over second and third toe. Once again, a really good exercise for warming up the brain and warming up your coordination. One more. Okay. Then stand back with your feet back underneath you, and we're going to do a really lovely exercise called the upper back stretch. Hands together, turn them over, and then push your hands forwards in front of you, and then up over your head. Bring them back down, push them forwards away, so you should really feel it stretching around the back of your shoulder blades, and then up over your head. And we'll do one more. So forwards and away, and then up over your head, and then bring them back down by your side. And we're going to move on to the walking exercise again, but this time in a lunge position. Doesn't matter which way you start because we'll come and swap on to doing the other side in a second. Exactly the same principle as the walking exercises in the other 2 warm-up sessions. Choose your diagonal pair, and this time what you will find as you go into the walking is that you move slightly forwards and backwards, and you should feel almost as if your pelvic headlights are moving forwards and backwards as if on a set of tram lines. Try to keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3, and as you're doing the arm movements, watch that your ribs don't start to lift upwards, so keep those ropes anchoring your ribs over your pelvis. Then swap, do exactly the same thing in your other diagonal pair, so choose opposite arm and foot. And once again, this is quite a challenge to the coordination. It's possibly one of the most challenging coordination exercises to do, unbelievably. But I always look around the room at a starting Pilates session, there's at least 2 people who haven't got a diagonal pair or part way through, managed to swap and doing arm and leg on the same side. It's just one of those crazy brain exercises. Okay, so then bring your feet back underneath you, and we're going to finish off with an exercise called a side plie with a stretch. So you need your feet out into the wide position, arms out to the side, and you're going to lean over so that your one hand is onto the knee, your top hand is over your head, and then you point what I call your top foot and stretch your fingertips and your toes away from each other, and then you come back to your starting point. So go to the same side, hand onto the knee, and stretch that top fingertips away from your top toes, and come back to your starting point. We'll do a couple more to that side. Into that stretch, watch that you don't lean forwards, and really push to stretch. And we'll do one more this way. Good big stretch. You can do more if you want to. You don't have to hold as long as I hold. So over to the other side, hand onto the knee. Hopefully you haven't got a bush in the way, or apple tree as it is for me. Into the stretch. And you really want to focus on pushing and elongating that top side as best as you can. One last go. And watch so you don't tip forwards. Okay, and then bring your feet back underneath you, arms by your side, and once again you are now ready to get going with whatever main exercises you wish to do. So I hope that you find those 3 warm-up sessions useful, and like I said before, you can do them as they come, individual sets, or you can mix and match and come up with a program that suits you as warm-up. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll get some benefits from the rest of the exercises that follow on. See you soon, bye bye.